Physician who's had my license for 40 years and had a very strong biochemistry background. I can say, and seeing what's happening with the X39, I can say without a doubt that this is the most significant medical breakthrough in my lifetime.
Aloha here, Maria Benardis. Hope you're well. And for those that are watching this video for the first time, just to give you a little bit of an introduction, I'm a health and wellness coach and spiritual coach and have been for many, many years. And also last year, I was very blessed and honored to receive to make it on the list number one of the top 10 health and wellness coaches disrupting the medical industry. And disrupting the medical industry because I teach the ancient Greek ways of energy healing, frequency, and vibration, which work. And as most people would know, or may not know actually, the ancient Greeks healed with energy, frequency, vibration. And this is why there was a large group of ancient Greeks that lived to beyond 250 years old. And in ancient Greece, of course, they practiced many therapies, including eating high vibrational food, having high vibrational mind thoughts, and of course, having a high vibrational frequency spirit. And I have done a I have done a video on the Ascension diet, so that will help you. I also have a book called Cooking and Eating Wisdom for Better Health, and I delve into all of that in great detail. And also, I have very good video that deals with the mind, which is very relevant today, the topic of health tips for your brain, called Q Consciousness. Having a healthy brain is a mind, body, spirit approach. The ancient Greeks knew this. This is why they were able, without everything that we have today, were able to cure most of the illnesses that they experienced, but also they did not experience a lot of the illnesses that we experience today because they didn't have toxins in their food, they didn't have chemtrails in the air, they didn't have fluoride in their water, and the list goes on. So it's all about energy. This is why I keep talking about light therapy, because they use light therapy to heal most of the illnesses in the body. And that's what that X39 technology is that's flashing on the screen. And this is why I keep talking about light therapy, because to heal cells, you need to change their frequency and vibration. And we have lots of cells in our brain, and we have one of the biggest ones, which is our pineal gland, which we need to keep healthy for many reasons. And the most important one of all is to have a really good connection with Mother, Father, God, which is what the ancient Greeks had. And therefore, they were able to download all the wisdom to help with their health and wellness, to help with their direction in life, and to help them make really clear, focused decisions. So today we're talking about the brain, and I have an amazing doctor that is in our LifeWave team called Dr. Stanley Gravely, PhD, and he offers a lot of tips to our team in terms of whether it's brain health, whether it's lung health. So I'll be doing a series of little short videos covering a lot of his wisdom, which really ties in with what I've been saying for years and encouraging people to do. And he also incorporates in his practice a lot of the LifeWave technology to help boost everything else that they are doing and to really restore their health. So he is using the technology to help customers and his clients with brain health, and of course for anybody that's suffering depression and so on. So let's launch into it. So really, I'm not going to do him a disservice. I will read what he has to say about brain health, and then in between when we cover the tips, I'll add, my little bit of ancient wisdom and health coaching wisdom. So, as he says, this is Dr. Stanley Gravely, PhD. The human brain is the command center for the nervous system and enables thoughts, memory, movement, and emotions by a complex function that is the highest product of biological evolution. Maintaining a healthy brain during one's life is the uppermost goal in pursuing health and longevity, because it's the mind that dictates to the rest of the body and its health. As the population ages, the burden of neurological disorders and challenges for the preservation of brain health increase. It is therefore vital to understand what brain health is and why it is important. The brain is a complex organ and has at least three levels of functions that affect all aspects of our daily lives: interpretation of senses and control of movement, maintenance of cognitive, mental, and emotional processes, and maintenance of normal behavior and social cognition. Brain health may therefore be defined as the preservation of optimal brain integrity and mental and cognitive function at a given age in the absence of overt brain disease that affect normal brain function. Several neurological disorders may disrupt brain function and affect humans' health. Medically, neurological disorders that cause brain dysfunction can be classified into three groups: brain diseases with overt damage to brain structures, such as cerebrovascular diseases, traumatic brain injury, brain tumors, meningitis, and communication and sensory disorders; functional brain disorders with detectable destruction of brain connections or networks, such as neurodegenerative diseases, e.g., Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's, dementia; and mental disorders, e.g., schizophrenia, depression, bipolar, alcoholism, and drug abuse. Other brain disorders without detectable structure or functional impairment, such as migraine and sleep disorders. These neurological disorders may have different or common effects on brain health and function. For instance, Alzheimer's disease is the main type of dementia, with a decline in different domains of cognitive function. Mood disorders may cause dysfunction in execution, reward processing, and emotional regulations. In addition to physical disability, aphasia, gait and balance problems, and cerebrovascular diseases may lead to cognitive impairment and dementia, which are neglected by both patients and physicians. Human aging is mainly reflected in the aspects of brain aging and degradation of brain function. The number of people aged 60 years and over worldwide was around 900 million in 2015 and is expected to grow to 2 billion by 2050. Um, with the increases in population, aging, and growth, the burden of neurological disorders and challenges of the preservation of brain health steeply increase. People with neurological disorders will have physical disability, cognitive or mental disorders, and social dysfunction, and be a large economic burden. Hypertension, diabetes, obesity, depression, head trauma, high cholesterol, and smoking all increase the risk of dementia. So, as you can see, everything links back to brain health. Um, and as Hippocrates said, all disease begins in the gut, and the second gut is the brain, is what he said. So every brain changes with age, and mental function changes along with it. Mental decline is common, and it's one of the most feared consequences of aging. But cognitive impairment is not inevitable. So, for example, I've put many testimonial videos on people that had dementia that were able to reverse it purely with some of the tips now that the doctor is giving us, which are a lot of the tips I've discussed before, and also incorporating the light technology. And at the end of this video, I'm actually going to reproduce a video. It's only 3 minutes long of a proven testimonial. And there are many. This is one of many where people have been able to reverse dementia and Alzheimer's disease purely adopting what I'm about to say and patching on with X39, which repairs and regenerates and reproduces new stem cells. So let's go into the tips. And of course, I have a lot of tips in my book, Cooking and Eating Wisdom for Better Health. So the first tip, so here are 12 ways you can maintain brain function. So the first one is to get mental stimulation. So, as the doctor says, through research with mice and humans, scientists have found that brainy activities stimulate new connections between nerve cells and may even help the brain regenerate new cells, developing neurological plasticity and building up a functional reserve that provides a hedge against future cell loss. Any mental stimulation activity should help to build up your brain. Like he says, read, take courses, try mental gymnastics such as word puzzles or maths problems, drawing, painting, and other crafts. So we usually find that those people that are not using their brain and not doing something creative does impair the health of their brain. Number two, he says, get physical exercise. And it's so true. Hippocrates used to say, if we gave everybody the right amount of food and the right amount of exercise, we would essentially have, most of the secret ingredient to attaining health and longevity. So research has shown that using your muscles also helps your mind. Animals who exercise regularly increase the number of tiny blood cells that bring oxygen-rich blood to the region of the brain that is responsible for thought. And it really doesn't have to be going to the gym. It could be just walking half an hour a day, doing yoga. All of this is very helpful. Also, exercise lowers blood pressure, improves cholesterol levels, helps blood sugar balance, and reduces mental stress, all of which can help your brain as well as your heart. So it's all linked. It's all linked. Now, the third one, which is really important as well, it is improve your diet. Now, diet is an ancient Greek word that means a way of life, and it includes mind, body, and spirit, not just what you eat. So I encourage you to watch my video, Ascension Diet. You'll find it on YouTube, Rumble, and YouTube. And I have lots of tips in there on what is considered high vibrational frequency food and what you should be looking at eating a high proportion of each and every day. Now, also in my book, Cooking and Eating Wisdom for Better Health, one of the main foods that really helps your brain and looks like your brain is raw walnuts. So incorporate walnuts into your diet. So this is what the doctor has to say. Good nutrition can help your mind as well as your body. For example, people that eat a high nutrition diet that emphasizes fruit, vegetable, nuts, unsaturated oils such as olive oil, and so on, that eliminate fried, refined, and processed junk food generally have better brain health. So watch, that video, Ascension Diet, and you will actually get a lot more information on the type of diet that will not only help your brain, but help every single organ in your body. So the next, oh, and also I wanted to let people know that I do have another video called X39 and Brain Health, and David Schmidt goes through a lot of things about what you can be doing to improve your brain. Uh, Next point, improve your blood pressure. Of course, it's linked. High blood pressure in midlife increases the risk of cognitive decline in old age. So, like he says, stay lean, exercise regularly, limit your alcohol, reduce stress, and eat right. Number five, improve your blood sugar. Diabetes is an important risk factor for dementia. You can help prevent diabetes by eating right, exercising regularly, and staying lean. But if your blood pressure stays high, you need to do something to get it back into control. And I have noticed with the addition of X39, link in the description of this video, also flashing up on the screen, that over time it has helped them stabilize that and very slowly, of course, in consultation with their doctor, gotten off the medication. Six, improve your cholesterol. High levels of LDL, which is, the bad cholesterol, are associated with increased risk of dementia. So again, diet, exercise, weight control, avoiding tobacco, all these things and eating right will help you improve your cholesterol. So have good oils such as olive oil, coconut oil. Avoid all those bad oils. And again, if you look at my Ascension Diet video, I go into that in great detail. Number seven, something that he recommends, consider low dose aspirin. Some observational studies suggest that low dose aspirin may reduce the risk of dementia, especially vascular dementia. Ask your doctor if you are a candidate. Now, we don't entirely agree on that one, but this is his tips, so I am putting in exactly what he has recommended. Eight, avoid tobacco in all forms. Totally agree. Don't abuse alcohol. Excessive drinking is a major risk factor for dementia. If you choose to drink, limit yourself to 1 to 2 drinks. What does it do? It damages and kills off your cells. Um, and this is why I notice a lot of people also then get a lot of saggy skin, a lot of wrinkles. What that is telling me is something in your diet is killing your cells. Okay. And this is why a lot of people, when they get on sort of the light therapy X39 technology, and some people, especially that really want to get a lot of wrinkles, also add, our additional patch, which is to do just with the, with sort of skin health and whatever. What they notice is that because they're reproducing new skin cells and everything, what's happening is their lines are diminishing, their skin becomes less saggy, and so on. Now, number 10, care for your emotions. People who are anxious, depressed, sleep deprived, or exhausted tend to score poorly on cognitive function tests. Poor scores don't necessarily predict an increased risk of cognitive decline in old age, but good mental health and restful sleep are currently important goals, especially with all the energies coming in. Oh my goodness me. I'm telling you, sometimes I'm having to take a little bit of a half an hour power nap, just to integrate all these energies and to let my body do a bit of a rest. And that's okay. Consider it yourself. 11, protect your head. Moderate to severe head injuries even without diagnosed concussions, increase the risk of cognitive impairment. Number 12, build social networks. Strong social ties have been associated with a lower risk of dementia as well as lower blood pressure and longer life expectancy. And 13, incorporate the LifeWave light therapy technology, in particular X39, and another one that's geared more towards the pineal gland and skin that you wear at night is the Alavida. And of course, to reduce sort of inflammation, especially if people have dementia or Alzheimer's disease, to reduce inflammation, I always recommend 2x39 at Aeon. And carnosine is also another antioxidant that helps with brain, heart, lung, and so on function. And it's an antioxidant that you can't really find that much in nature. Okay, so again, X39 is king. And if you're going to add another patch, I always recommend Aeon to reduce your inflammation. And if someone really has a lot of existing brain issues, whether that's depression or whatever, I would get them to add the carnosine. But X39 is king and works for the majority of people. So what's going to follow is a testimonial of someone where they're restoring, their Alzheimer's is reversing with the use of X39. So please enjoy that video. I have posted it before, but I'm putting it at the end of this video just so you can see proof and a testimonial that once you adopt all these practices that the doctor has recommended, you will notice amazing improvements. So that's all I really wanted to say. I just wanted to put some of these amazing tips that Dr. Stanley Gravely, PhD, shares with us and put it out there on video to share it with other people. And again, thank you for watching. And again, if you're going to purchase this amazing technology, I always recommend preferred customer. Why? Because you pay the wholesale rates. So I don't want people paying, extra money that they don't need to. Or you can become a partner to take advantage of the less than wholesale rates. And you don't have to do the business. But if you want to do the business, you can do it or do it later on down the track. So thank you so much for watching. Mahalo. God bless you and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.
Do you know what year it is right now?
I thought it was 2020.
Oh, it is 2020. Yeah, and do you know the date at all?
No.
Or the month, maybe?
I'm not focused.
That's okay.
On
Don't
that
worry.
right
That's
now.
okay.
Yeah.
How about do you know the president? It's okay. You don't need to know any of this. You're not going to get graded. How about naming 3 presidents in the past?
God, you're going it up. Go.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. In a week from now, we hope you just start rattling these off.
Yeah.
Can you count backwards from 20?
2019, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Blast off. Yeah, there's the accountant in you. Can you name your kids?
Sean and Claire.
And
Marie Leonard and Sean Matthew.
awesome. And do you know their occupations?
Claire is, she's kind of like a business consultant, and Sean is an acupuncturist.
Okay. And do you know where they live?
Claire lives in Brattleboro, Vermont. Sean lives in Sarasota.
Okay. And how about their grandkids? Your grandkids, their names?
Hugo is up in Vermont, and then there's Kaylee, Thea here in Sarasota, and Rhea and Aria.
Great. And do you know what month Hugo was born? At all?
Hugo? I'm thinking it was December, but I'm
Okay.
I'm not sure.
And what about the two new babies, Aria and Rhea? Do you know when they were born? The month?
Just recently, so I would say Aria and Rhea.
It's okay if you don't know.
Yeah, I would guess in the fall, but I'm not sure.
Okay, that's fine. And is there any way that you'd be able to write me a check today for the cell phone?
Sure.
Okay.
Where's my purse?
Okay. So you're looking for your checkbook,
Yeah.
and we have been writing your bills for probably the past 6 months, so you don't have a checkbook.
I don't have a checkbook anymore. Okay.
Right. And so this is something that we talk about pretty much every day. Okay. And car keys. I needed to get your car keys. And you're looking for car keys. That's another thing. So you haven't drove in months, and we've had your car keys. Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. We're going to patch you today. Today is day 1, and we are going to monitor your progress throughout this next month. And we love you.
Good.
All right. Who is our president?
Trump.
Just like that. And yes, I'm sobbing my eyes out. Do you know who your kids are? See, she's laughing. Okay, good. Do you know what Sean does for a living? What his occupation is? And do you know what Claire does for a living?
She's a business consultant.
Okay. Do you know about your grandkids? How many grandkids do you have?
4.
Yep.
4 direct and a couple more besides.
Okay. Do you know what month Hugo was born in?
February comes to no, it's December, isn't it?
Okay, that's great.
What month was it? February?
Yeah. Yeah, you said December at the first recording 11 days ago, but it is February.
Okay.
Could you do me a favor and write me a check for your cell phone?
You have my checkbook.
Holy crap. I'm just crying out of happiness. Last time I recorded you 11 days ago, we've been doing your bills for a long, long time, and you were scrambling to find your checkbook. You did not remember that we've been doing your bills. So, and what about your car keys? Do you have your car keys?
No, I'm not driving right now.
Okay. I love you. This is amazing.
Can you name some past presidents?
Trump.
That's okay.
Well, possibly Washington, Lincoln.
All the old men.
All the old men.
Yeah, just any past president.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mimi. Today is day 11. Do you know the date, the month? It's okay if you don't. It's okay.
Okay.
Who is the president?
Trump.
You got it. And your kids?
Claire and Sean.
Yep. And do you know what Sean does for a living?
Acupuncture.
And do you know what Claire does for a living?
She's a business consultant.
And do you know when Hugo was born?
I think in February.
Yeah. Okay. And can you write me a check?
Sure. No, because you got my checkbook.
I love you. And can I have your keys?
You got them.
Okay, and what else did I ask you last week? Not last week, I'm sorry, 11 days ago, you were digging in your purse for your checkbook, and you were digging in your purse for your keys. You had no idea that you didn't drive, really. Well, I think you figured out that you didn't drive, but you did not remember that I've been doing your bills now for a long time. Again, day 11. Woohoo! All right, this is week 3, the end of week 3. Day 21. Do you know what year it is?
2020.
See, you're laughing. You're laughing. Do you know the month?
Is it still January?
It is February now.
February.
Do you know the president?
Trump.
Yep. Can you name 3 presidents from the past? Any of them.
Washington, Lincoln, Hamilton.
There you go. I don't even know Hamilton. From day 1, you knew how to count backwards from 20. Can you name your kids?
Cremery, Leonard Barbosa, Sean Matthew Leonard.
Okay, and do you know what occupation Sean has?
Acupuncture.
Yeah. And Claire, do you know what she does for a living?
What is it she was telling me? I think of it as business consulting.
Okay. And you knew where they live, and you knew your grandkids. Do you know what month Hugo was born in?
February.
Yep. And do you know what month Rhea was born in?
Is it September?
No, that was Aria. That's okay.
Oh.
Rhea, do you know Rhea? Aria was September. Rhea, do you know Rhea? It's okay if you don't.
February?
No, she is November. And is there any way you could write me a check for your cell phone?
No.
Why?
Because I don't have my checks.
Oh, okay. And what about your car keys? Can I have your car keys?
You already did.
That's awesome. Thank
still
you.
have them.
Thank you.
So how do you feel over the last month being on this patch?
I feel really alert and good and with it, and I'm able to do whatever I want.
Really?
Yeah.
And do you say that because I'm asking you that question? I mean, what internally generated feelings do you have about all of it? I mean, have you observed things, or is it more that you are observing our conversations with you and what we tell you, or is there an internal sense? And just give me your most internal sense.
This is the internal sense. Is this sense that I'm in charge of my own life, and that I can move at my own pace and be who I am, and interact with others at Bay Village, and follow the programs that I'm interested in, and hold my own. And whether I'm sitting alone at a dining room table temporarily because people are just still coming in, which would have intimidated me before, like, what's the matter with me? It's like I know that by eye contact and communication in other ways, I can communicate with people who I want to be with.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, can you name pi to the 23rd decimal point?
What is it, 0.23?
No, it's 3.14. I'm sorry. This patch doesn't work at all.
1, 2, 3.
I don't know. It's 23 hundredths. No, but I don't know. Anything else that comes to mind?
No, not really.
Okay.
I feel a little bit like questioning of myself, that you're questioning me like this and thinking, what am I displaying?
Well,
But
what you're
aware.
what you're displaying now is actually quite a bit more than we hoped for a month ago.
Oh,
So,
good.
but we're trying to be objective at the same time.
Yeah,
And so, okay, Claire, what does Claire do for a living?
she's a photographer.
Is she a business consultant?
She consults with businesses as a photographer.
That's right. Perfect. Good. Okay, Mom. That's it. Thanks for taking the time to answer my questions.
We love you.
I know. I feel love.
All right.
So, just overall, since incorporating this amazing light technology, what are some enhancements as a general overview that you've noticed as far as that it's helped take it up a level in terms of reversing dementia that you've noticed personally?
Well, for this one client, her sense of executive function and speed processing is significantly increased. I worked with her today, as a matter of fact, on a series of um, brain strategy exercises, computer exercises, and she was knocking them out of the park. And
Wow.
she was thinking and figuring, and then her attention would drift. And then I'd call her back into focus, and she'd get it. It was wonderful. I think the funnest story, Maria, is I had an engineer, 77 years old, up in engineer. He lived in the mountains, in a suburb of a nice city in the mountains, on the foothills of the mountains, and um, his wife hired me. His reasoning was gone. He really didn't know what his problem was or what his situation
Mm.
was. He didn't understand that he had dementia. And so we became very good friends, and I would meet with him 3 or 4 times a week, and we would do brain stimulation
Yeah.
exercises, and I would coach him through, actually coach his wife through the protocol. And so I put him on the patch, and we were together for about a year, and I got him on a plateau. And then I got him on the patch,
Mm.
and we're pushing about a year on the patch, and he would start questioning me, totally
Mm.
adverse to where he was. He used to be so
Mm.
congenial, and he's like, Janet, why are we meeting, and why do I need to do these games, and there's just no reason for me to be here, and to the
Wow.
point where he was questioning our involvement, my involvement with him, and he began to drive. Now he would drive. He put his foot down and was going to drive, and his wife would be with him in the car as a passenger, and she would help with directions. But he got the directions. He figured out Google Maps, and so finally we came to our session, and he said, Janet, I'm firing you, and I was like,
Wow.
well, absolutely, that's exactly what I want. And so we
That's
had a fun
amazing.
we had a fun little, jab back and forth, back and forth. And then I called his wife, and I just made sure, it's like, now you're sure this is what you want. He says, right, everything right. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. He just doesn't think he's got dementia. He doesn't really understand it. And he doesn't want to meet with you anymore. He doesn't want to do these games anymore. He doesn't want to do these cognitive tests anymore. It's like, I get it. I think that's great.
That's
So now,
amazing.
Maria, did he come back 100%? No, but certainly 75, 80%, to the fact where he was making the proper decision that he did not want to hire me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a fun
Yeah.
story. I think that's a fun one.
Yeah. And see, that's the amazing thing. By incorporating the light tech, we're helping enhance the process.
This was last March, um, the spring, a year ago. And Dad comes to me and says, I can't take this anymore with your mom. She cannot walk down she cannot walk down the pier. She can't lift up the crab traps. Now we've got steel rebar in the crab traps, so they're heavy, and you have to pull them up 30 feet. I mean, that's a lot for an 80-year-old woman, 89-year-old woman who's not a exerciser. She doesn't exercise. So anyway, I was like, Dad, it's okay. She got it. She can do it. She can do it. And then he kept, it could be other viewers here. Um, they just don't, they're not into exercise. You can't tell them anything. It's got to be their idea. I've tried everything in the book to help my mother, and so we went from a valve implant to her heart, a heart valve implant, a pig valve in her heart, and then we went to a stent, and then we went to a heart bypass. And so everything I
Mm.
suggested, Mom, no sugar, no alcohol, you've got to exercise, everything. Oh, no, 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 no. So finally, the crab issue comes up, and Dad just absolutely loses it because he's got to go do the crabs. He can't stand it. Now, granted, he'll eat those fabulous crab meat omelets, right, and the crab meat West Indies salad, but he just doesn't want to have to deal with them and cook them and pick them
Yeah.
out of the bay and all that stuff. Okay, so but I went to Mother and I said, Mom, if this is really a problem, isn't it? She's like, yes, honey, it is. I just can't do it anymore. She was sitting so depressed. I said, Mom, will you just wear these patches? Well, okay. So I explained it all to her, and she's on them. So let's fast forward now from March to July 4. We're all at their house for 4th of July celebration. Not only is she pulling the wagon with the crab bait down the pier, she's trotting down the pier, and she's pulling those crab traps up like they were just a little bit of a yarn ball. She was getting together a yarn ball, light and fluffy, and she's shaking those crabs out of the crab traps, and she's putting them in that wagon, and stuffing up those, cracking open the skull, the spine of the fish, and throwing them in, pushing them, jabbing them into the crab trap, trotting back down the pier, 50 gallons of water, picking it up, putting it boom on the burner, boiling the crabs, putting the crabs in, taking the crabs, purging the crabs, and she's putting the crabs in. I mean, my gosh, March,
Amazing.
April, May, June, July. So right at 4 full months on those patches.
Unbelievable.
Excuse me. Nothing else changed. Nothing else changed. I still couldn't get them off the sugar. I still can't get them to not drink as much alcohol as they like to drink. I can't get them off gluten. I can't get them off dairy. But you know what? Those patches are working.